What's up, everyone? Today we have another fantastic compilation featuring the best stories from r/Justnomil. These 4 incredible tales will shock and entertain you. Subscribe if you're new here. This story is titled Mother-in-Law Has Baby Fever for My Baby, posted by u/RaspberryPiantheski. My baby is 2 months old. Even before giving birth, my mother-in-law insisted my husband and I take baby to holiday events. We politely but firmly told her no each time, with an explanation the first few times about cocooning with newborns. This happened over text, in person, and on the phone. She can't respect that we don't want to be around anyone traveling. So she invites people from out of town to Thanksgiving, so we firmly tell her no, we won't be there. Just before Thanksgiving, she comes over with family in tow to get family photos with my baby, and starts directing everyone where to stand. I'm not in a single one. Finally, my husband says, "Let's get one with mommy." Mother-in-law pushes past me and takes my baby. "Lady, you haven't been mommy in over 30 years. Husband's sister also steps in and more clearly says, "We should get one with me." A week later, more family is visiting. We've been very careful, but this family was respectful. Let us know their vaccinations were up to date. No one was feeling sick, etc. So, we go over, and again, mother-in-law directs all these family photos with my baby. Her own brother finally says, "Surely you want one with me in it too?" I talked to my husband about it on the way home, and he was receptive, offered to talk to her, but also said he didn't think it was intentional and she was just excited. Fine, I think. Maybe I'm being oversensitive. Christmas rolls around and my husband is gifted not 1, not 2, but 5 framed family photos. And not one of them has me in it. I took baby into another room to breastfeed because I was going to cry, or snap otherwise. When I pointed it out in the car to my husband, he got really angry at his family. He hadn't noticed. They gift a lot of junk. So it's not like he opened the photos all at once, and is going to say something to her because he is furious. And saga continues. I've been politely biting my tongue at my baby comments from mother-in-law and sister-in-law, but it's past the point of normal now. My mother-in-law babysat my baby while I was at work, and husband was at the dentist office. He gets home, she leaves, and then calls because she forgot her book. He can't find it, but says hell, keep looking. I get home and find it immediately in my seat at the dining room table. The book? Surrogate Mother. This story is titled Mother-in-Law Laughed, while I cried after she encouraged my sister-in-law to send me a message telling me to kill myself. Posted by u/FeistyWishbona3213. Our next story is equally fascinating. I've been with my husband for 6 years, married for 2. His family never liked me from the beginning, but I thought things were getting better. I was wrong. I have severe depression and PTSD from things that happened before I met my husband. Has been my rock through all of it, and has the reason I'm still here, honestly. I had to take a step back from work recently because my mental health was really bad, and my husband suggested we stay with his parents for a few weeks. While I recovered since our apartment lease was ending, and we were between places, worst decision we ever made, my mother-in-law has been making little comments the whole time, asking why I can't just cheer up, saying I'm lazy for not working, rolling her eyes when I take my medication, but I brushed it off. Because we only had to be here temporarily. My husband's sister lives with them too. She's 34, and has always hated me for reasons I don't fully understand. She barely speaks to me, and when she does, it's always passive-aggressive. Yesterday, I was sitting in the living room, and my sister-in-law was on her laptop across the room, maybe 20 feet away from me. I got a notification on my phone, and it was a DM on Instagram from a burner account. It said I was worthless, and that my husband would be better off without me. It said everyone knows I'm faking my mental illness for attention. It told me I should just kill myself and do everyone a favor. It knew details about my past trauma that only someone in this house would know. I looked up. and my sister-in-law was smirking at her screen. I started crying and showed my husband. He confronted his sister, and she denied it. But then mother-in-law came in and asked what was happening. When my husband explained, she really started laughing. Not awkward laughter. She thought it was funny. She said I was being dramatic, and that I need thicker skin if I'm going to be part of this family. My husband and I packed our stuff that night and left. We're staying at a hotel now, and he's saying he wants to go no contact with his whole family. But now his mom is blowing up his phone saying I'm tearing the family apart and turning her son against her. This story is titled, Mother-in-Law Wants My Baby If We Die, posted by you/Knowing Eve. Our next tale is absolutely wild. Hey, me and my husband are expecting our first baby together. I have 3 children from a prior marriage. I am friends with my ex-husband, amicable. I have full custody. He has them some weekends, but his disability is getting worse. Anyway, it's always been the case that all of the children will go to my parents in the event of mine and my husband's death. They won't be going to their father. We all decided it was best and more optimal for the children to go to my parents. We've all always know where we all stand. Today, on the phone, my husband was just talking to his mother about various things, and casually mentioned how much a solicitor costs as we need to go there and get a will sorted out and specify all these important factors like ensuring all 4 children, 3 plus our baby that's currently cooking, go to my parents, and we need to make sure insurance money also goes there. My mother-in-law replied, quite entitled, snooty tone. Well, no. Can't I have one? Implying she should get the baby in the event of our deaths, therefore separating that child from its siblings. This is really what no one wants. Hence why that is not what's going to happen. I was just so shocked that you'd even suggest something so selfish, aka Lee think it's reasonable to separate siblings when their parents just died, and had such a sense of entitlement that she thought Lee gets a say in what happens to someone else's children. She made it sound like choosing a puppy out of a litter. Her tone really riled me up. I know it's going to get brought up next time we see her, and she's going to act like life isn't fair and she can't have what she wants. It's not even about her. I will not be a monster-in-law. I will not be a monster-in-law. I will not be a monster-in-law. I will put the children first. I will put the children first. I will put the children first. I will be evolved and healthy. I will respect another couple's boundaries. And repeat after me. This story is titled Trying to Take My Baby Out of My Arms, posted by you/Historical Cream 125. And now for our final story of today. I have never been so upset in my entire life. Dear husband and I live with his family, but are moving out in January. It will just be him, I, and our baby. I am significant other happy. Our very own home. But it never used to be like this. I used to like this woman. But after today, oh boy. When I got pregnant, Justnomil and I's entire relationship changed. Her comments, her views, her unnecessary behavior. I realized how insanely overbearing and completely disregarding of boundaries she is. It all added up over those 9 months. After my son was born, even worse. Here are a few examples. Freaked out when I said she would not be sitting in the waiting room while I gave birth, and would not be coming in the room the second I popped my baby out. She would have to wait until the next day to come visit. When she first learned of our moving out, was upset. Says I need to stay for at least a few more months. And let dear husband go alone for now, moving for his career. Once I said no to that. She said, well then I'll come over every weekend. I said no. She says, well, every other weekend then. Visiting hours were over, while I was in labor. She was texting me as I labored with no epidural, asking if she wanted me to have her bring us food. I text her no, and that visiting hours were over anyways. She then kept asking, and after repeated no's accused me of lying. Yep. She texted me and said I was lying about hours being over. I was 6 centimeters and pissed. Constantly. And I mean constantly tries to tell me what to do with my son. It was so bad when he was first born. She would try to turn my ceiling fan off, tell me he needed socks, and when I would say he doesn't, she wouldn't stop insisting. And telling me to put them on right now, try to change what I had him dressed in, told me I was burping him too hard. And I don't mean she said these once or twice. I'm repeating myself every single day to stop. That I know what I'm doing. In FL, and until today it's been hot as hell. So no, he isn't freezing. I genuinely am going insane telling her to stop. She'll say it over and over and over again. That poor baby, he is freezing. Put some thicker clothes on him. Where's his blanket? I say he is fine. And she keeps going. Cover him. Poor baby. He's freezing. You need to right now. He's in a thick sleeper and has a sleep sack on. I say nope. She tells me again. I said no, I don't want to. Only then does she stop. Father-in-law even tells her I'm the mother, not her. And she still doesn't get it. The second worst thing, IEBF, and I don't want her feeding him. Well, guess what she tells me? Why don't you just give him some formula so I can feed him? But she doesn't just say it once or twice. She keeps saying it almost every single day when I first had him. I would tell her no. No formula. No bottle. I'm feeding him. And she just wouldn't drop it. Finally, she stopped mentioning it as much, until today. When she told my baby he needed a bottle so Grandma could feed him, I told her nope, no bottle. He'll never have one. He has me. And now, for today, I have my son in my arms, and I'm patting his back. She's talking to me, and suddenly she is saying, "Here, let me take him," and I'm not joking. She is tugging on him. She is genuinely attempting to pull him out of my arms. I feel the grip she has on him and everything. The resistance of me keeping him in my arms. This is the second time she has done this, but this time it just made me so mad. I wasn't letting go. I kept telling her to stop, and there she goes. I'll take him. You take a break. I'll take him. She is still trying to take him. I was so mad, I said stop trying to take my son out of my arms. Then, there goes the guilt trip. She leaves the room all quiet and says she is going to take a shower. I mean, she was genuinely tugging him away from me as I held him tight to me. And I told her to stop 3 or 4 times, and she kept insisting. It made me remember how she's done this before. I didn't let her take him that time either. But, what the F? Please, do not think she has no access to my son. She holds him all day. If I'm not nursing him, I hand him over, so she can have him. I bite my tongue, let her make indirect comments to my son about my parenting, who doesn't even know what the hell she is saying. And yet here she is. Literally attempting to yank him from my arms. I am so happy we are moving. Don't even get me started on how she tries to undermine dear husband as well with the baby. She does it worse with him. Thank gosh dear husband isn't in love with this woman, not a mommy's boy in any capacity. If I tell him I need him to set a boundary for me, because this woman doesn't listen to me, he does. He doesn't even answer the phone when she calls him, so she always has to call me. I just cannot imagine my life if he was enmeshed. And that's all for today's Reddit stories. These incredible tales never fail to amaze me. Subscribe for more compilations like this. What did you think? Drop a comment. Thanks for watching.